All right. Well, hi everyone. Hopefully you can hear and see me okay. I had to go from Twitch Studio to OBS because apparently Twitch Studio isn't being supported by Twitch anymore, which is kind of silly to me because it's sort of like, isn't that your thing that you use? But whatever. I got some help from Blaze to setting it up. So hopefully you can all hear me and see me okay. And but we're gonna just do a little hot cocoa corner as kind of a test run and see if I hit the right buttons. So let us take a look first off at what's up coming up for this week. So for the weekly schedule, June 3rd, which is today, to June 9th, we're doing Hot Cocoa Corner at 8 p.m. Of course, Tuesday, I'll probably just take a break because I have a lot of stuff to do on Tuesday. Wednesday, Genshin Impact 4.7 is going to be live. So we're going to be doing that. Probably will drop a 10 poll on Cloran's banner with the idea of possibly getting Sethos. But who knows? We'll have to see. It's one of those things of, you throw your luck at it and see what happens. Um, I don't plan on rolling to get Cloran. Although I would like at least one copy of Sethos. But as I've learned, you don't want to chase the 4 stars because then you just get yourself in trouble. Um, so we have that. Thursday will be a little bit more Genshin because again, I am part of the Twitch streamer event, and so I want to get in my hours and things. Friday that's going to be at 8 p.m., so that'll be in the evening most likely. And then on Friday at 7:30 a.m., they're going to have the Honkai Star Rail 2.3 live stream. So we'll get to kind of see that they're going to put out, Jade and Firefly and some other things like that. Saturday is going to be rest day for me. I'm actually going to a comic convention, an anime convention. So I'll get to tell you guys what happens when during all that, which will be pretty cool. And then Sunday, I put maybe we're gonna put some more Genshin or maybe some more Wuthering Waves. I haven't been streaming Wuthering Waves a lot because the launch was a little rough for people, and it how can I put it? It was a little rough, and they're still kind of working out the kinks. So I don't want to stream it if my camera's like swinging all over the place and I keep glitching and things. So once they figure that out, we'll be streaming more Wuthering Waves. Um, but that is for what we're going to be looking at for this coming up week. Now, going into some of the cool stuff that has happened since last Monday, they put out Cloran's character demo, which is pretty cool. It basically has her chasing a hilly churl rogue, which a lot of people were like, "Why is she chasing Caterpillar?" It's a pretty good one. It's shows her hunting skills and things like that, so that's pretty cool. Today we also got Emily's drip marketing, which Emily is a perfumer of Fontaine. She's going to be the first Dendro Fontanian. Um, a lot of people were kind of surprised because she's one of the characters that had a while ago some of her concept art got dripped and or got leaked, I should say. And there was like all these different types of characters, and the person who dripped it said that's all one character, and they just haven't picked out what they want her to look like. So they picked this, and this actually isn't on any isn't any in any of the concept art. So it just goes to show how, even when you have concept art from Genshin, like don't take that as a final say because chances are you're not gonna get that. So just wait for the drip marketing to be safe. So because unfortunately what's happened is there's a couple people who they fell in love so much with the concept art that when the real version got shown, they're not thrilled. Um, we can get kind of closer look here. So unfortunately they're not exactly super thrilled. Um I've even seen people call her ugly and everything. I'm like, I don't think she's ugly. She's very cute. Um really like that she's wearing glasses. Her eyes are really pretty. Her dress is very pretty, especially like the skirt part. The fact that she's green makes a lot of sense because one, she's Dendro, and two, her whole thing is like perfume and flowers and things. So that makes sense. Her little hat is very cute with the little um lily of the valley drips kind of coming out. The only thing I'm a little tiny bit concerned about is her hair and how that's going to kind of convey over to her CGI model. However, I think because of the angle, her hair looks more full on one side than the other side, but that's probably because she's at an angle. So I'm sure they'll she'll we'll have to see how she looks in the game, because really when it comes down to it, what matters is how they look in the game when you're playing around with them. But I like her. I think she's really cool. Her shoes are like really pretty. And what's interesting too is that she has the um luminos bell design, which is interesting because Clearvy, who was Arlecchino's friend, had that flower as her symbol, and it's going to be really interesting if people start shipping her with Arlecchino on just on that point. Um, Also, the little pink in her hair is actually really cute. So it kind of that has a gradient effect. So I thought she was pretty cool. Um, she has the title of 1,000 Scents Traced. She's a renowned perfumer. Um, Nivulet actually says a quote for her, which is pretty cool. And then down here, they give a little bit more info about some of her stuff, basically about how she can, make everything good as new, and that she's a forensic cleaner, and so on and so forth. So she seems definitely like an interesting character. Um, to be honest, when I looked at her at first, my brain didn't immediately go perfumer, but she kind of, I guess, with the glasses and her hairstyle, she kind of looks like a librarian to me, which is not a bad thing. Librarians are cool, but um she's not she doesn't seem to be as like elegant as I would assume. But like I said, we'll have to see how she moves around and what her kit looks like and so on and so forth. So that's a thing for the future. Let's see. Some winners were announced. The fan art contest winners were announced. They have a little bit here about 4.7, which actually, before we go on, that we'll just go down here. We have the banners out, or the banners 4 stars out. We're gonna have Cloran and Alhytham first, with Bennett, Toma, and Sethos. A lot of people are all upset because they're like, "What happened to Kave? What did you do with Kave?" And which, I mean, Kave is now on standard, so you could basically get him anytime. He just hasn't had a rate up for a while. Um, but that is what we're gonna have for the banners in the first half. Then here's the banners, and then of course we have the weapon banner, which has both Cloran's and Alhytham's weapon. There's some events. We have this one where you get the bow. Little side note: that bow actually apparently needs the little drops from the Remurian soldier statue guys. So if you guys haven't gotten to that point, or you haven't fought enough of those guys, you might want to go down there and collect up a few, because if you want to use the bow and level it up during the event, just you FYI. So you have that, and then of course we have a bunch of other of the events. We have this one, record of reflective writing to get some Freeba gems. Floran is going to have her story quest. They're having a Genie's Invocation event, 2 of those actually. And the Archon quest is actually going to happen too, but I don't know if that's going to happen right away. I figured it would, but it might not. They might actually do Cloran's story quest first and then be like, oh, okay, you know, in, you know, at the Ace, they'll have the Archon quest. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, so there's that. Let's see. Yeah, new story. Look, story unlocked. Archon quest. Bedtime story. Yeah, I guess they're unlocking at the same time. Yeah, this will be kind of our last like full Fontaine patch because we're going to be going to the summer event in 4.8, which who knows where we're going for that one. Could be going up Archipelago, could be that the Sumeru what you call it, amusement park that we went to last time. They could be making something for Fontaine. I believe Emily is going to or supposed to be part of that event from what I heard. So that'll be a good way to kind of see her in action as we roll for her and so on, which is pretty good. Um, Maintenance is going to be happening tomorrow. This one's a little off because it's UCC +8, so that's for China, I believe. But so we're going to be having it starting tomorrow in the evening. It should be if you're EST, which and then it will be open on Wednesday, the 5th. We also have the voice artist announcement for Sethos, which was pretty cool. So Zeno does a good job. Goes a little bit into Sethos and things. Talks about his kit and stuff like that, which you kind of see if you want to take a more deeper look at that, and so on. And then Sethos even gets a character demo, which I think most 4 stars get a character demo too. But he has that one. It's kind of cool. We also celebrated Ito and Paimon's birthdays on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday. So they got some really cool art. Here's a Ito's, and here's his chibi one, and then we got Paimon's, super cute, and then little Paimon chibi, which apparently they're both born on Child's Day, which makes total sense when they act so childish. So that's actually kind of cute. And then of course you have the Twitch live stream event, which I've signed up for. We got the calendar display with a nice Ride Shogun on it, along with everybody's birthdays. So Lisa's is going to be on the 9th, Venti's is going to be on the 16th, Yomaya's will be on the 21st, and then we'll have Sino's on the 23rd, and then A's on 26th, and Yemiko's on the 27th, which I did not realize their birthdays were so close together, but that's very cute. Um, so that is super, super. Got that. And then just more results announcements and things like that. There is a little event taking place. It's Cloran's web event, so might want to do it to get some primo gems and things like that. It's pretty simple. I've done it. It's gonna go bad. It's gonna go bad. Excuse me. It's going to end on June 6th, so you might want to get that done if you haven't, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Here's the bow we're gonna get for the event. As you could see here, it requires these little doodads, so you might want to get on that if you haven't been fighting that guy, and it also needs these guys too. Got here. This one's, I believe, Cloran's sword, and yeah, so just two new weapons. So we got Cloran's sword, and we got the bow. Siege Wings is probably gonna come out in part 2. We also have voice artist announcements and so on and so forth. Okay, which I think. Oh, we got Cloran's all her stuff too. If you guys want to check it out, that's pretty good. Her character teaser and so on and so forth. We also got this really nice artwork for all of the 5 stars that had their banners, including Baizu. I'm glad he was in there. It's kind of silly. He had his debut. I remember that I was like, what? He had his debut banner, and the person that they got to do the artwork for the what a wonderful artwork didn't include him. They included all these 3 other characters and not him, and I'm like, okay, that seems kind of sus, you know. So luckily, this person is not again is not prejudiced against Baisu. because they included him. He also did a very good job. He looks very cute there. So there you go. We also have this one too. This one's gonna be ending. It's kind of a log in and click and see if you get stuff. Um, it's a gotcha event basically. So there you go with that, and so on. So that is for Genshin. Honkai Star Rail. They are also having a web event that is basically going and shooting at targets for Boot Hill. You can get Primo Gems and things like that. They're also having the live stream, okay, on the 7th, which is a Friday. That's in the morning. So I'm gonna be streaming that. So if you guys wanna come over and check it out, have that as well. Um, they talk about some of the light codes and things that are going on. Some really nice Boot Hill artwork. They actually put out the pictures for the story quest here and here. Sunday looks great. Or Boot Hill. But they did this Misha, and everybody's like, Misha, come back. Which I totally get. I did not expect how it happened in the story. I wanted him to come with us, but but you have him, and so on and so forth, and then just some music and things like that. And then for Wuthering Waves, we like I said, Wuthering Waves got started on the 22nd, and they've been updating it and like doing hot fixes and things. So they've also been listening to the player base really well, so that helps. They have this voice actor interview. This is the guy who does Gen. I actually haven't watched this yet, um, but that was pretty cool. They put out this um, nice calendar. They talked about the bus tour again. The Overdash Club thing is going on right now. It's pretty fun. If you guys haven't done it, Withering Waves actually achieved the #1 spot for downloads on top of the charts, which is pretty cool. Fan creations going on, and so on, and so on and so forth. Now, for some of the big stuff, is right here. Okay, so they actually put out quite a bit of an update. Okay, so this one is like, Dear Rovers, greetings. We are the Wuthering Waves dev team. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received a lot of valuable feedback and suggestions through social media and in-game surveys. We are generally grateful for your attention and support. We apologize for the deficiencies and issues present in Wuthering Waves, our first fully independently developed and globally published game at Kuro Games. We understand that this has affected your game experience, and we are working to improve it for those who love the game. We have been working on optimizations and iterations for the current 1.0 version, and the development of subsequent version updates is also underway. Below, we'll address some of the most discussed and concerned issues. Echo development. Let's see. I believe to just kind of do a too long to read. Here's the summary. They're doing some adjustments. They're going to have a Echo Material Double Yield event in the current version, so that's going to be coming out. I don't know when, but it should come out before 1.1. They're going to reduce the shell credit cost to develop the echoes. They're removing the reward cutscene from the tacit fields. So I guess because maybe it takes too long, especially when you do the tacit field over and over again. You see it a number of times. The yield of echoes and echo development materials will increase, so it'll be easier to level them up. And this is important to introduce a wave plate storage system, which is really good because a lot of their stuff is very expensive when it comes to wave plates. Just in my chair a little. So, uh, wave plate storage system where a lot of the things kind of cost a lot to do, and so having wave plate storage so you can kind of gather up your overflow up to a certain point, it'll be actually really useful for actually raising your characters and things like that, which is really good. They also have this whole thing with the reward system error that they had a problem where they were like it was giving people too many shell credits, and then they tried to adjust it, but then it ended up running into an issue and yada yada yada. So they ended up giving everybody 1 million shell credits just to be like, okay, here you go. Sorry about that. Sorry about the issue. Um, so we have that. Additionally, to address the poor experience with the ecosystem, will compensate all rovers with crystal solvents, 20, which is one crystal for 60 wave planes. Thank you for your understanding and support. This is actually really good because you can use that 20 for a lot. Um, Although I will suggest, okay, make sure you are planning out how you're using it. Don't just use it willy nilly, because you will run into a situation where you'll really need them and then not have them. You basically want to try to get as most bang for your buck with stuff. So you have that. There was an error in the 5-star weapon description for Jing Yang. Basically, I believe in Japan, it got translated a little wrong, and so they decided to give everybody 5 forging tides. Sorry to kind of say sorry. Um, and they fixed it. Yeah, they're going to we're talking about the Overdash Club, and they're going to put a special event, Withering Exploration, to offer new rewards and content to improve your game experience. It's going to start on the 13th and on the 27th. And then we have typical, asteroids and more horrible elite class Echo 1 and so on and so forth. So that should be pretty good. Let's see. They're also planning on bringing, yeah, Yinling sooner. Um, they said that they're basically going to bring her on June 6th. So if you've been waiting for her banner is going to be available. I believe the way it's going to work is they're going to have both Jing Yang and her banner at the same time. They're not going to end Ji Yang's to just start hers, because I'm pretty sure they get in trouble for that. On um, obviously you don't. It's like when I checked it, Jing Yang still has like 9 days. And if you take away 6 days, 6 of those days, just blip, he's gone. People are going to get mad, especially if you have somebody who had been trying to get him and rolling for him and rolling for him and was building up their their wishes and stuff, and then suddenly blip, he's gone the next day. It's like, no, that's not fair. So I believe it's going to be at the same time. I know some people have kind of wondered about why they did it early, but I think it's because they've heard people who are like, "Oh, we really want Yinlin? Could you bring her sooner?" And so they are doing that. Which, to be honest, it's not even that much sooner. Um, I mean, she would have come out next week by Rayleigh, so it's not actually that early. Um, all that. And then here they talk about how version 1.0 will last until 8th, so the end of the month, they'll schedule servers downtime and input the update for Wuthering Waves version 1.1, Thaw of Eons, which will include a new area, Mount Firmament, new resonators, Jinsi and Changli, which is what I want, yay, and the new boss, Jue? I'm not entirely sure. They say his name a couple different ways, excuse me. So I'm not entirely sure how you say his name, but I know I thought this when I saw this, I thought this was kind of funny because during the story, Jinsi goes and she mentions how, oh, she's gonna have to go fight Jue, and I thought to myself, oh, so you mean when you said you'll fight him, you mean us? We'll fight him, considering he'll be a new boss for us to fight. Um, but I'm looking forward to Changli. I'm assuming she's gonna be in the second phase, just because we The only thing we've seen of her is like a few clips and her voice in game. So at that, they're actually giving everybody 10 Radiant Tide, which is really nice. So that's Changli funds for me, and so on. So we have that. They're working on the camera performances. They're working on the bosses, uh, combat state. Yeah, they leave the combat state. Like they'll probably find you, and then they'll be like, "Ah, okay," and they'll leave, and you'll be like, "Wait a minute, come back here." Ghost touch issues on mobile they're fixing, or they're expanding it so that you don't accidentally like hit the buttons. I believe you can do custom key binding. They're making it easier for controllers. Yeah, poor game feel design and impact signification. In future versions, we will constantly improve the event signification, and game feel design for characters and monsters, enhancing the overall combat experience and positive feedback during battles, and other contents. This one I found kind of funny. Okay, so it says no purchase limits for store items like flour, leading to accidental purchases. In recent updates, we will have a weekly purchase limit for certain items in the store. The reason that this happened was I heard that apparently somebody went to the store and they wanted to buy flour, and they thought that they uh when they grabbed the little slider, they thought that, oh, they only have this much flour in the shop, I will buy this flour. Well, since the flour was unlimited, they basically bought it and used up all their shell credits. They bought as much flour as their shell credits would allow them. They end up using all. It's like I feel so bad for them because it's just like I could just imagine them going, "Wow, that's a lot of flour I managed to buy," and then looking at their money shell credits and being like, "What happened to all my money?" It's like you spent it on unlimited flour. Like what a thing to spend it on. Um, but basically they're fixing that. I'm assuming it's going to be something like 100 flour, so you don't accidentally go and spend 2 million shell credits on just flour. Um, Working on audio and sound effects, also performance issues, crashes. They're going to be updating the depths of elusive realm events, and so on. Apart from the adjustments mentioned above, we recognize there are still many issues in the game that affect player experience. We are committed to listening to every single piece of feedback, continuously organizing, optimizing, and resolving these issues to make Withering better. We will share and communicate future updates and optimizations progress with you actively. Additionally, we will continue to gather player feedback through version surveys. Since Wuthering Waves official global launch, we have been disheartened by our inability to provide a high quality gaming experience to all rovers. We understand that continuously releasing better versions and content is our goal and mission, and we will always strive to uphold them. Finally, we sincerely thank all rovers for your continuous attention and unwavering support for Wuthering Waves and from the Wuthering Waves dev team. Which I think is very nice. A lot of people are kind of giving Wuthering Waves the thumbs up in the sense of even though their game uh, is a little bit on the rough side right now, the fact that they are working so hard to fix it and they are communicating with the player base instead of just being like, yeah, we don't care, this is just a cash grab, and stuff like that is like a big deal to people. Also, too, they're very generous with the thing of, we're sorry, please take this apology, apology, Radiant Tides, and stuff like that. So it's like you accept it and it's like, okay, yes, we understand. It's okay, you know, and so on. So that's one of the big things. The compensation has gone out. It went out, I think, yesterday, and so on. So there we go with that. All right. Let's see. I think that is about it for that. I apologize if my animes got in the way. I was trying to adjust it and I forgot that it was going to show up in front of this one. So I apologize for that bit. I have to get used to OBS. It's different than Twitch Studio. But hopefully you guys are hearing me okay, and we're all good. All right. Well, I think that is about it for Hot Cocoa Corner. Like I said, I will be seeing you guys on Wednesday, probably around 8 o'clock, because Genshin Impact 4.7 will be live, and we want to check out the Archon quest and a bunch of the fun stuff and things like that. And so I will see you then. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming and chill hanging out with me. Um, I don't think if I have anything else to say. Delicious in Dungeon, very good anime. If you guys haven't been watching it, I suggest you do. Also, Yuru Camp, or also called Layback Camp, is also very good. And then there's another one called like my. Let me check. I know the name in Japanese. I've been watching these anime. I'm a big anime fan. Let's see. Yuru Camp. Yeah, it's called Tonari no Yokai-san. It's good. It's kind of cute and kind of interesting because it's sort of a slice of life, but it's also like, oh, there's a little bit of action and adventure in there, um, and so on. So if you guys haven't watched that, I suggest you do. Manga wise, I think two ones about Solo Farming in the Tower is really good. It's super cute. The characters they have like rabbits and little bears and minotaurs that are like super cute in it, and a talking cat and a bunch of things like that. And then also the Remarried Empress is also very good. So just some tidbits if you guys want to check those out. All right, I think that is finally it. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Okay, thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.